mypmnation.com.
Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet. Matt from IPMNation.com here at The Planet. Tim Martin working the board. If you need a DJ for your event, go to centralnhevents.com and you can hire Tim to DJ your party or corporate function or shindig. How's that? Shindig?
Shindig's fine.
Is that somewhere on your website, Shindig?
It should be.
It should be, yes. At centralnhevents.com. And we got a couple of guys from the band The If in Life here today. Josh and Matt.
Correct.
Okay. And also, you guys are on Fly Rock Records, of course, and,
Yes, we are.
and we have Jake here from Fly Rock as well, who we'll talk to a little bit later. Where are you guys from?
We're from Dover.
Dover,
New Hampshire.
Okay. Both of you, or is the whole band from Dover?
We base ourselves out of Dover. Yeah, our bass player is living in Portland.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
And Josh is from Berwick.
Yeah, I grew up in Maine. I grew up in Berwick, Maine. But we all now pretty much live in Dover.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you guys each do in the band?
I play guitar. Josh play guitar, and I sing.
Okay.
Same for me, Matt, guitar and singing.
Okay. And who else is in the band? Who are we missing?
You got Omar Baror, he plays bass. He's the one out of Portland. And then Matt Hobbs, he plays drums.
Okay. All right. So 4-piece. Very good. Well, you guys brought some tunes with you. So why don't we start with a track, whatever you guys want to play, and then we'll come back and talk.
Cool. I think what I see.
Yeah, What I See would be a great choice.
Off the album Concepts of Sound that we just put out. Although it was about a year ago now.
Everything's relative.
Yeah, right.
What's the name of the song again?
What I See.
What I See. Okay, so this is What I See from The If in Life here on Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet.
So easily
Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet. Matt from IPMNation.com here with the If in Life, or half of the If in Life anyway. So we got Josh and Matt here. So you guys both play guitar and sing in the band?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Correct.
Who writes the songs? Do you guys all write together?
We
or?
all do.
Okay.
Yeah, we all take pretty equal part in everything that we write.
Yeah.
If I come up with something, or if Matt comes up with something, we bring it to Matt Hobbs, our drummer, and he'll come up with the own way he wants to play drums. We don't really dictate to each other what we should all do.
Sure.
Omar writes a bunch of stuff that a lot of the songs on the album are his creations completely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we all take part.
So the name of the album is
The Concepts of Sound.
Concepts of Sound. Okay, and that's been out for about a year.
Yeah. When did that come out?
It's been out about 8 or 9 months.
Okay.
I'd say, at this
Is
point.
this your first album?
It's our third, but it's our first doing this style of music.
Oh, okay. What do you mean? Can you explain that?
We released 2 EPs before as more of like a metal, thrashy, screamy type band.
Oh, okay.
And we had our own EP that we put out first. What year was that?
That was 2007.
Yeah, so 2007, and then a couple years after that, we put out a split with our friend I9, Mike Dion, who does hip hop. So it was 2 of our songs and then 2 of his songs. And this was our first full album that we wrote just as rock and roll that we do now.
Okay. And what is it that directed you guys to kind of make that transition? Because you used to be more thrashy and metal, and what?
Well, I would say just years, like 2.5 years of playing 3 shows a weekend at every vet hall, Lions Club that you can imagine in New England.
The circuit, yeah.
The circuit.
Yeah.
And, as we got a little bit older and we were going through college and stuff, we weren't that angry anymore, to be honest. I mean, I was this lead singer. I just screamed, and that was what I did. And he played guitar, Omar played bass, Hobbs played drums. We went on tour and stuff, and we had a manager, and we had a really, really bad tour experience with our old manager. And at that point we said, are we going to completely give up and just never, just break up and not play shows anymore? Or why don't we just kind of scratch that itch and play rock and roll like we want to?
Right.
And so we got together, and these guys kind of taught me how to play guitar. And then a couple years later, we started writing songs, and then we met Jake, and he convinced us to, kind of stay together and put out an album through Fly Rock.
Okay. Have you always been the If in Life? Has the name always been the same?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you went through that change where you changed styles and kind of let go of the anger, as it were, did you contemplate changing the name?
One thing we've always really tried to pride ourselves on is like no member changes and no name change. Like when you're a band, you're a band, and we see a lot of bands that we used to play with when we were playing metal.
Yeah.
That would have like one original member, and they would go through like 6 people in a year, and they would change their name 6 times, and like no one knows who they are, and it becomes irrelevant. And
right.
We wanted to really it's been like 5 years. We've always had the same name.
Yeah.
We've always had the same people.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's good. A lot of bands in that situation will change names, but of course, then you're literally starting over.
Yeah,
and if it's the same guys, then
Yeah.
So it's always been the 4 of you.
Yeah.
That's
No
good.
extra, no less.
No
just
extra,
no
no
kidding.
less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of unusual.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know we don't know a single other band that we started our first show November 2005, and we don't know a single other band from that point till now that's had the same exact members, same name, nothing, like not even close.
Yeah.
I mean, not even close.
And it's just a preference thing for us. I mean, it's not like some high and mighty thing that we try to do. Some bands just don't care, and we care. It's
Sure.
just something that it keeps congruity. No matter what we do, it's it's always the same thing.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
Well, what is it about the If in Life that keeps, because it is very hard to keep, some people describe a band as a marriage, and we live in a society where 2-way marriages don't make it, so when you've got 4 people, I mean, have any of you ever that ever thought about bailing? Or I mean,
we definitely, like, the marriage thing's a good point, because in a marriage you got to make things work, you got to fight to make it happen, and we have our quarrels here and there, and we have our our fights, but we always play well together, and no matter what's going on, really, when we get up on stage, it's usually pretty awesome. And
yeah. No, that's a credit to the 4. I'm sorry, were you about to say something, Matt?
No, I mean, I can't really say it any better than that.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. And do you guys do any side projects or anything? Any of you? Or?
We all kind of dabble a little bit in different things. We all have our own things that we do. Or if someone down at Fly Rock in Dover needs an extra guitar, I might come in, or Tate might come in.
That's cool.
And we always just help. We lend a hand to our friends that also play other types of music.
Yeah. So you got pretty far with the band even before things really changed for you. You went on. You guys mentioned you went on a tour. And that's kind of where things went sour.
Yeah, I mean, once we started playing all those shows, and everybody in all the states in that scene, that genre of music, knew who we were, and management, not companies, but like guys that call themselves managers in the scene, basically show promoters, took notice of that and said, who's helping you get shows? Who's helping you do, how do you guys do it? And I said, we just do it the old fashioned way, hard work. And there was no bands from Maine that anybody had ever heard of. We were the first one. And it was always, oh, you're the guys from Maine. And we ran into a manager from Manchester, and for the first 4 months, it was great. He connected us with a lot of huge shows. We started opening for the biggest, nationally touring metal acts that came through New Hampshire and Maine. And that was, the high point of it, really. And then we got set up for this tour. Last minute, it's supposed to be a 3-band tour. Last minute, one band drops. And then it's just 2 bands going on tour. And then, this show's not going to happen. And this show's not going to happen. But, yeah. And
then a month-long tour turns into a week, and you get stranded in New York with no money.
Yeah. Really? That happened to you guys?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. No kidding.
Yeah. I mean, our manager, with quotations, kind of just stopped picking up our phone calls. And then we decided, wow, we're not going to have fun getting back home.
Yeah.
Yep.
Quit while we're ahead.
We were supposed to play this huge festival in Pennsylvania, and the guy called us when we were on our way, and he said, David stranded my bands in New Hampshire, so I can't let you play my show.
Right.
And that was our chain link to get down to Florida to finish the tour and come back up. So it was kind of like, do we go further into our pocket to keep this tour going, or do we just turn around and go home?
That's tough. Yeah.
You buy a van. We've had a trailer for a long time. We got a van. You're finally there. You're like, oh, I'm getting paid to play music. This is great. And then it's a harsh reality on the road. It's brutal.
Absolutely. So what happened next after that went the way it did? I mean, did you guys? Was there kind of a moment where the 4 of you had to make a decision? Well, what do we do? Do we keep going? Do we just call it? And
well, we got to our last show. We were really running low on money. Everyone was kind of just bumming, and we were sitting out. It was Long Island, right?
Yeah,
someplace in Long Island. But we were sitting on the parking lot. And we're like, well, we got to go home. There's nothing. We can barely make it home with the amount of money we have gas wise and tolls. Yeah, tolls are crazy up there.
Yeah, and that was when gas was at its highest of all time. We paid $4.39 at one point for gas.
Wow, no kidding.
Yep. Yeah. And it was just like the worst timing you could. Gas is the highest it's ever been. And you're on tour, broke.
There was definitely a point where we all kind of made eye contact with each other, and we're like, bummer. we're done with this one.
Let's get 20 White Castle sliders and hit the road.
So after the tour, I mean, what happened? How did you guys make the decision to keep going? Or?
Well, we kept playing the same stuff for a while, and we floated out on it, and then we just from that point on, we got really bored with seeing all the same people at the shows. You're not making a difference. You're not reaching out. We had a real small demographic of people that we were playing to, and it was all high school kids. And that's awesome for them. They had a great time. They loved it. Yeah. But there's a lot of anger, and we wanted to reach to the older crowd. I wanted to play music that my dad could listen to and not want to pull out the hair that he has left. And so it was just kind of we all kind of hit it at the same time. We weren't listening to metal anymore. We weren't having fun at the shows really anymore. It's just a lot of stress and anger. Yeah, so we realized we all like to play just rock that. Or it's not even it's just music that we like to play. And the things that we have going on in our heads, we make them up, and it's more fun. Now,
did the 4 of you all kind of feel this way? I mean, were all of you prepared to move in the same direction at once?
Yeah. Well, pretty much what happens with our band is everybody has ideas in their mind, and everyone has feelings that they don't necessarily come out and share because they don't want other people to lose hope. That's kind of how it was. Yeah. Omar is our leader, really. And he basically came to us and said, I hate metal. I don't listen to metal anymore. And everyone else was like, oh, thank you. Me either.
No kidding.
Yeah. And then we said, well, let's try to write a rock song. I mean, we kind of said, what music are we listening to? And everyone said, I'm getting really into Led Zepp and stuff now.
Well, we kind of had been too. We were writing just in our free time, and as like openers to our set, we would write like just really rocking songs and that didn't have any vocals to them or anything. We would play those, and some of those actually ended up on the album that we have out now.
Okay, yeah. Now, do you ever, I mean, the old stuff, do you ever play any of that, or have you ever revamped any of it, or did you just completely leave that in the past?
Left it.
Yeah.
We get requests
all the time.
Oh, no kidding, yeah?
All the time. People call us, or every time we're at a show, they yell out old metal songs.
No
ask
kidding.
us if we're going to play metal songs.
Yeah.
We probably couldn't play them. I don't remember a thing.
Really? Yeah.
It's just been too long.
Yeah.
I mean, they're incredible. The 2 songs that are on the split with Mike are awesome. Like, I'm proud to say that I wrote a song, or that we wrote a song together that was as good as we wanted to.
Yeah.
You know, like, it came out so well, and we were really proud of it.
Yeah.
And then we were over it. That's what happened.
And when did this happen? What year was this?
Was summer 2008.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we did take a pretty long break trying to figure out what we were going to do. And there was like a good about a year, I guess, of like really? Not really like pushing too hard. We kind of just wanted to take a break.
Sure.
Figure out what we wanted to do, and then it all came together real well, though.
Yeah, that's great. And then how did you associate with Fly Rock Records? How did that happen?
Well, the kid I went to middle school and high school with, Mike Dion, who's I9, he did a little bit of rap in high school, and then I wasn't much into music in high school in terms of playing. And then once I got into college, I met these guys and started playing shows, and he said, well, can I jump on one of your shows with you sometime? We said, sure, man. And now he's huge. He's everywhere. He's massive. Yeah. And he said, you guys got to meet. You got to meet this guy. He came up to me after the show and said, I'm starting a record label. I really want you to be on it. Do you know any other artists? And he said, absolutely. I know a band that helped me get started that I would love to keep them in the scene. And he introduced us to Jake. Yeah. And we sat down around a hookah at Smoke Signals. And he convinced us to keep playing and to write another album.
Yeah.
Smoke Signal is also a great place to go. Yes. It is very awesome.
Was it right downtown?
It's above Fly Rock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we share a building with them.
Oh, nice. Very good. Well, why don't we play another track from the album, Concepts of Sound, and then we'll come back and we'll talk to Jake for a few minutes and find out more about Fly Rock Records. But what do you guys want to play?
Lights Out. Yeah, Lights Out off the same album, Concepts of Sound. Yeah.
Okay, great. So this is Lights Out from The If in Life here on Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet.
100.1 The Planet's local outbreak with IPMNation.com.
Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet. Matt from IPMNation.com. Sitting here, we got two of the guys from the If in Life, and we also have Jake Johnson, who is the... what is your title at Fly Rock Records? Are you the president and CEO? Are you a partner? What are you?
Well, I own it, but I just consider myself somewhat of a supporter of local music.
Yeah.
And let's just leave it at that.
Okay. Wow, that's a short segment. Oh, you just mean as far as your title.
Yeah, right, okay.
That's great. He started it.
Yeah. So, when did you start Fly Rock Records?
It was March of 2009.
Okay. So it's been a few years, or a couple of years, but I've been hearing about it for a while. Well, yeah. You're right in Dover, correct?
Sounds about right. Yep.
Okay. Are you right? You have an office right downtown?
Yep, 3 Washington Street, down in downtown Dover, New Hampshire. We're right up next to the Cocheco River, and there's a line of trees right there, and those will never be cut down. We're on the outskirts of town, and so we can get away with, kind of rocking out late at night. We have a whole parking lot to ourselves. We host shows on a monthly basis.
Oh, no kidding.
That's correct. Yep.
Oh, very cool. What is it that made you want to start Fly Rock Records? What drove you to do that?
Well, I was working for a drilling and blasting company, and that's where the name comes from.
Okay.
Fly Rock is a phenomenon in that field. It denotes a rock that is cast outside of the blast plan.
Okay. And
causes some significant property damage or personal injury.
Yeah.
And man, it was the same time when, they were talking about the gas prices there. Economy's kind of tanking. The company started putting more and more responsibilities on their workers, laying off people left and right. I was working 80 hours a week, traveling sometimes, and legitimately working 36-hour days where I would drive straight through the night.
No kidding.
Passing through Tilton, passing through Franklin, on my way out to Burlington, down into Albany, New York, back up to Bangor, Maine, straight up pulling overnighters.
Wow.
On the road, just pounding yerba mate.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. And I just reached a limit and was driving around listening to great radio stations like yours and essentially defining the mission statement that's on our main page, www.flyrockrecords.com. Mm-hmm. And that is to support, promote, and protect artistic vision through all creative mediums while staying deeply rooted in our community, promoting Main Street development,
sustainable living practices. It's just overall fun.
Word. Check it out, flyrockrecords.com. It really is a genuine mission.
Yeah. When you originally started Fly Rock Records, was it your intention to have several artists, or, Well,
essentially it was my goal to sell music, but, you quickly learn in this new digital era that, just nobody's buying music anymore, and essentially you're begging your friends and family to pick up an album and whatnot, and it's just it's a tough game out there. And Fly Rock has just essentially been a local band. We just have been banging our heads against the wall to figure out a way to operate in 2011.
Sure.
And we're doing great things.
Yeah. Do you feel that you're a good one to ask this question of? I want to get your perspective on this. I've long felt that the way the industry is going is that we will eventually reach a point where the music itself will no longer be considered product at all, but strictly a promotional item, and that the product is the merchandising and the live shows, and that's where you make the money. That's where you make all the money. Because you can illegally download MP3s. You don't have to go to iTunes, and you said, totally it's hard to sell a CD.
That's totally cool. And let's take that page right there. So all you guys using Bandcamp, all right, find your buddy or find your dad's friend that has like a lawn mowing company or something like that, and be like, yo, man, you have your stats right there. People are listening. You can say, 300 people a week check out my So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go talk to your dad's buddy, the guy that's, he's doing all right for himself. And you're going to say, listen, on my Bandcamp account, at the beginning of every song, I'm just going to drop a quick 3-second, check out Harry's lawn mowing service. And, snag that cash, put it into your tour van, put it into your merch sales. Don't even buy a CD. Don't even buy a run of CDs, and just work off,
right,
your local affiliates that will, support you along the way until you grow to a bigger and more badass level where you can, snag some cash from bigger and larger, more supportive local affiliates.
Yeah. No, that's cool, and that's a unique strategy. I have not heard what you just described before, so that's really interesting.
Thank you. This digital era has really taken us by storm, and I can imagine you guys are probably having the same sort of run around with the fact that Bandcamp is now being played on people's smartphones.
Mm-hmm. And it affects everything. Yeah,
plugged right into the auxiliary jack in your car.
Sure.
Bam, done.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You mentioned, so you have The If in Life, and I9 is also on your label, correct?
That's correct.
And you said there were 3 that were worth a damn. Who's the third one?
The third one is an artist by the name of P.T. Burnham. He just came back from a European tour, Eastern European, where he was out near Moscow, some points a little bit west, and he just came back, actually while he was passing through, recorded a video for Midas Touch. And I want you guys to do me a favor and search this. P.T. Burnham Midas Touch in your Google Chrome there, and check out that video that was shot in Leipzig, Germany, by a guy by the name of Arvid Wu.
Okay. What can we find on flyrockrecords.com?
Well, you can find a few things. All the information on all the artists, including The If in Life, I9, and P.T. Burnham. You can also find links to our weekly podcast. Mm-hmm. Want to briefly throw in here is that we were just accepted as a Revision 3 street team member. And Revision 3, if you guys don't know what that is, it's an internet television community where they they essentially broadcast online, very poignant and niche market programming.
Oh, okay. Very cool. And are you currently looking for more artists? I mean, do you accept?
We absolutely are. So what are our requirements for being on Fly Rock Records? First and foremost, you got to get your ass on tour. Don't even send me your Reverb Nation account when you're not on tour. You absolutely have to be out there putting your name in front of the people.
Yeah.
And second, you got to have a love for the music, and you got to be a good person. Don't be a bitch.
Yeah.
Because we just have no time for that issue.
Yeah.
We're working way too hard.
Yeah. Good. Tell me about, so I just want to remind everyone, for people who don't know, you said you do a monthly show at Fly Rock Records.
Those are secret. I really wasn't supposed to broadcast that, but it's totally fine. Yeah, we hold monthly shows down there. We throw down. Sometimes we break ceiling tiles, but we replace them. Sometimes we spray paint on the walls, but we cover it up. Like I said, we're a protector of all things art.
Yeah,
straight up music, art, design, killing it.
Excellent,
absolutely killing it right now.
Very cool. I might have to check one of those out. But I won't tell anyone I'm going there.
Hey, man, you got my email, right?
Absolutely. Well, Jake Johnson from Fly Rock Records, thanks very much, man.
No problem. And I want to thank the If in Life for everything that they've contributed to Fly Rock Records, and including Matt Tate's Underground Hour.
Very nice. And we're gonna play another track from the album that these guys brought. What do you guys want to play?
This is an instrumental track. It's called "The Universe in Death."
Okay.
The first part being the universe, second part death.
Okay.
It's like I said, it's instrumental. This was the brainchild of Omar, our bass player, and it's been used in a lot of like ski, snowboard videos.
Oh, nice.
It's really climactic, I guess would be a good word for it. Yeah, it builds for a long time. It's just a beautiful ending. Stick around for the ending because it's worth it.
Okay, cool. So this is The Universe in Death from The If in Life here on Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet. Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet. Matt from IPMNation.com here with two guys from the If in Life, and we just talked to Jake from Fly Rock Records for a bit, and very cool stuff happening there, and some unique perspectives I hadn't heard before. So that was very informative. What do you guys? What's the future? The album's been out for what, 8 or 9 months?
Yeah, about that.
Do you have plans to record something new, or what are you doing right now?
Yeah, we're all kind of, we're still playing shows as much as we can. Everyone's busy. Everyone's getting older. They have things to do.
Sure.
It's harder to do every night of the weekend, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, playing shows, So it's hard for everyone to get together on the same page. But we all obviously, we still love music. We still want to play. And I'm sure there'll be new stuff. We just have to find time to sit down and not be so busy and work on some stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a full-time grad student too now, and we all have jobs, and Omar lives in Portland, so there will definitely be new If in Life songs, and there will definitely be another album. I don't really foresee us completely separating. We definitely said we would never substitute members. Yeah. And I think that's true. So if anyone decided to leave, I think the sound would change again, based on who's left. Sure. So, and I think...
But in that case, we probably would end up changing our name and trying to... Right. Just because, we like to keep everything together.
I think that ethic that you guys have is really cool. And like I said, it's very unusual in this area.
It's like the way you put it, it's like a marriage. You got to work to keep it going. You can't just call it quits.
Right.
You got to make it work.
Right, exactly.
If you really want it to happen, and we have fun whenever we get up on stage, it's always usually a great time, unless it's just like a bummer of a show. But it's always fun, and we always have fun doing it, and that's what makes it worth doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's the easiest way to find you guys online? FlyRockRecords.com, or do you have a separate site? Or
I would say the easiest way is probably find us on Facebook, facebook.com/ifinlife. Okay. There's no on that page, but basic information and the easiest, quickest links to our Facebook, our stuff on iTunes, everything that we're involved with.
How to buy anything that we might have, like if we happen to have shirts at a certain time, or like the CDs that we already have out.
Yeah, it's definitely on FlyRockRecords.com. Okay. Absolutely.
Okay, excellent. Well, guys, I want to thank you for coming in. And
thank you for having us.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Glad to do it. This has been great. And Jake, thank you. And as always, I want to thank Mr. Tim Martin for working the board and making everything sound good. Mm-hmm. Tim from CentralNHEvents.com. If you need a DJ for your event, it's the end of the show, so you can go there now. Mm-hmm. Right now. Don't wait. CentralNHEvents.com and hire Tim to DJ your event or shindig, or whatever it may be. Shindig. I think we should really push that. I think that'll help your business. Shindig.
I'm going to put it on my website.
Yeah, bring it back.
Excellent. Good. I appreciate that. Thank you for using my idea. And Josh and Matt from the If in Life, what do you guys want to wrap up the show with?
Well, I would just say, go online and give our stuff a shot. Give our songs a shot. I mean...
I'm sorry, I meant what do you want to play?
Oh, sorry.
But if you have a final thought.
Moment of
go. I mean, you don't have to buy our album. We'll come to a show and we'll give you an album. Tell us you just want it and we'll give you one. I mean, we've already made our money back on them. Just give our stuff a listen, and if it relates to you, show it to someone that you think would appreciate it.
Yeah.
Come to a show, stand up front and smile and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess we should wrap it up with We're Awake.
Yeah, definitely, actually. Yep.
All right, very cool.
Yep.
All right, this is We're Awake from the If in Life here on Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nobody feels
conscious choice, there is no going back. With or without you is possible. To live without influence. Maybe we're all just blushing. Every minute, every hour, every taste, just another way you choose. What trouble to play. Each moment in time is getting harder to find as a valuable piece of your life.
.1, the planet's local outbreak with IPMNation.com.
The Planet's local outbreak is recorded weekly at the studios of 100.1 The Planet. It's engineered by Tim Martin of CentralNHEvents.com. Matt Connerton of IPMNation.com is the host of The Planet's local outbreak. The show is produced and edited by Annie Biello of 100.1 The Planet. For artist links and details about The Planet's local outbreak, log on to the Planet's Entertain Me page, WPNHFM.com. The Planet's Local Outbreak is available for download anytime online, IPMNation.com/local outbreak. The Planet's Local Outbreak is a product of 100.1 The Planet and Northeast Communications.
IPMNation.com.